All right, welcome back to another episode of the Investing with TJ show. Now, we have a big episode today. Why? Well, for pretty much this past week and bleeding in a little bit of last week, I have been screaming from the rooftops over and over again that we are not done in gold and silver. And, a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of negativity, some in the comments and some on Wall Street Silver and other places that, hey, I think it's a wrap, yada, yada, yada. And I've basically been saying, look, everything we've been seeing this week has been impacting most assets. This isn't a unique thing that's only happening to precious metals, specifically gold and silver. We're seeing weakness everywhere. And once we get out of this, we are going to get right back on track. Now, where were we yesterday? So yesterday I put out this tweet. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I'm investing with TJ. Follow me there. But I put out this tweet with my gold, silver, and even copper forecasts. Now, this is what yesterday's forecast was for gold. Now, this is important because I'm going to show you what the updates are a little bit later. But currently, right now, yesterday, it was the lower limit was 1756 and 80 cents. Middle 1863, upper limit 1970. But pay attention to this lower limit, 1756, and we were, dancing around that 1760 area yesterday. Now, take a look at this. This is my current update with all of today's updates, including some of the monthly updates that we already have, but including some of the movies we've been seeing today in Bitcoin and in the dollar. Lower limit is now 1772, upper limit 1879. Central limit 1879, upper limit 1986. So the lower limit has now moved above where we were treading yesterday. So we are, according to my forecast and according to what we're seeing today, back on track. What are we seeing today? Well, we're seeing gold back in the 1780s. Again, $20 above where it was yesterday. We were getting as low as, was it 1761 or 1762 yesterday? And we have a very interesting candle developing here. Now, if it closes in a particular place, all bets are off. Things are looking great. What is that kind of candle I'm talking about? Well, it is this, a bullish and engulfing candle, which basically shows a bullish candle that opens at or lower than the previous candle and, closes above the previous candle's open. And the length of it engulfs the previous red candle. Now, this is kind of developing here, and we'll see where things end up by the end of the day. But we're kind of seeing some of this play out. We opened below the close from yesterday, and it looks like we may potentially close above the open from yesterday. Now, this is important because we are at the bottom, as you can see here, in price action, and this could spell the potential for a reversal. And I wouldn't be surprised because, hey, we are lightening up here in the histogram, and things are looking like they're turning back up here in the RSI. So we may be seeing the first sign of a reversal here developing today. Again, we're in the 1780s right now for gold. Mind you, we're in the 1780s for gold, while a lot of other assets are bleeding red right now. And let's see if I can actually get to some of them here and explain some of the dynamics behind it. So we have the S&P 500, which you guys know I actually have exposure to, down a negative 1.45%. And because of that, you're seeing the VIX at 33, guys. It is up 20.29% today. There's a lot of macro news that came out that I'll talk about in another episode today. But again, referring to what I talked about yesterday with backwardation, VIX futures for February are still in the 23 level. So the VIX will come down. And when it does come down, it'll bring the dollar down with it. Because today you're seeing the dollar still at some somewhat elevated levels. The DXY is at 96. It was even up higher a little bit today. Let's take a look at some of these other commodities here. Oil is still down. Wood's down. Copper's down. We'll talk about silver in another episode today. But let's go down to Bitcoin here, because crypto having some issues. Bitcoin, as you can see down here, is at 54,760. Ethereum at 4280. Bitcoin down a negative 3%. Ethereum down negative 5%. So again, referring back to my forecasting model, when Bitcoin goes down, gold actually shoots up. And we're definitely seeing that relationship play out definitely today. Because yesterday, Bitcoin was getting up to like 58, 57. Now we're down at 54. And that really did help bring up the lower limit from that 1750 area. And we're seeing it now at 1772. So a nice limit here that's above where we were, kind of treading water yesterday. Now, again, if you do want to get access to my forecasting model, it's right here. I'll leave a link in the description below and also in my pinned comment down below. But let's take a look here at this poll that I actually put out yesterday. And I asked, hey, where do you think gold will wind up by the end of next week? Not this week, but next week. So here's the thing. Even though things are potentially looking positive today, who knows what next week will bring? I do think if we continue to see positivity, I think we'll be above 1780. But it looks like from yesterday, a lot of people said that they expect to see gold below 1780. Some people said, or the next majority up said 1780 to 1800. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the case. Some said 1800 to 1820, and more people than that said above 1820. Now, I think a lot of this came, and we had 200 votes here, by the way. A lot of this came from, in my view, people kind of fearing what was going on over the course of the last few days. And then I think a lot of people just threw up their hands and said, gold is done for. It was a nice run in 2020, but hey, it's just looking kind of rough here. So I assume that's why people voted in the majority and saying that by the end of next week, we should expect to see gold below 1780. Now, I've been screaming from the rooftops that December tends to be a good month for gold. And, we have some nice things developing in the technicals. We have a nice macro background. All of these things, to me, point towards at least us maintaining strength, if not going above where we are now. So, it looks like people are basically saying, for the most part, hey, we're going to be at 1800 or below by the end of next week, skewing more towards below 1780. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like button. Thanks again. It's TJ.